Morning, everybody. This is a special board meeting for the Ogdensburg Bridge and Port Authority. The time is 8 o'clock and it's Friday, September 20th. Calling this meeting to order, I think Wade would like to, I think there's a need for executive session.
Yes, there's a need for executive session, Mr. Chairman, to discuss matters leading to the appointment of a corporation and also contract negotiations.
And there will be business decision to be made in regards to executive session?
It is anticipated there will be a decision made from the executive session.
Okay, so we'll have a decision, so. Okay. Yes, we do, don't we? I need a motion to adjourn the executive session.
I'll move that.
And Doug?
I'll second.
And Mona will second that. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone have any questions before that? I jumped ahead of myself. No questions?
No,
Okay.
you got it. Thank you, Steve.
Okay, I'd like to welcome you back to from the executive session. The time now is 8:45. We have some business items and general administration. Wade, why don't you take us through that?
Yes, good morning again. Welcome back to folks in the audience. We have approval of property purchase and sale of real property agreements. As the New York State Public Authority, the Bridge and Port Authority has some unique benefits that, as a public corporation, that we can work with the private sector to create jobs and investment in the region. I'm pleased to report that in order to facilitate an expansion of a manufacturing facility, the Tulsa Corporation, within the Commerce Park, the authority negotiated 3 related real property transactions. And there's 3 parts to this transaction. One is Derringer to the authority, one is the authority to Derringer, and one is the authority to DeFelsco. And what this involves the acquisition of Building 2, 800 Proctor Avenue by the authority. The authority will be selling Building 9 and land with contingencies to Derringer. And the authority will be selling Building 2 and an adjacent parcel with contingencies to DeFelsco. Now, all in all, when this is all done, the authority will incur an immediate loss of $200,000 in the current fiscal year. Well, why are we doing that? Well, we're doing that because of the public benefit component. And the estimated public benefit of this transaction is very important. It's $11.5 million due to 55 new jobs created in the park between 2 companies. There's going to be $1.3 million in new tax revenue going to the city, to the county, and the school district over the 10-year period. The authority retains over $170,000 in bridge traffic over the 10-year period and avoids $44,000 in utility costs over that period. I'm pleased to report that we've had a discussion in the executive session. Staff recommends approval of these agreements and would request board action via roll call vote. And I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have.
I think my comment would be, before we vote on this, is these 2 businesses have decided to invest their future here, and to Wade and our staff, and to John Pickett in the city, and everybody involved in this process. This is a very complicated, if this doesn't happen, this won't happen, whatever type of deal. So it took a little time and patience for people to know all the type of things that are involved here. But I think what's really important here is the long-term investment that DeFelsco and Derringer has said, this is a good place for us to do business. And I think it's the climate that we're trying to establish here at the Bridge and Port Authority, that we are open for business to help people do things and make good things happen. And I think I want to thank them again for everything that's been involved here. And for Wade, and I already said that, whenever staying with us and took a lot of dots and I's and stuff like that to get this all done. So that's my comment on this type of deal, whatever. Will we get the money right away to what we need to do? No, I think the numbers tell themselves, whatever. You pay me now, you get some money later. I think really it's in hard times here with the psych center closing or possible closing, whatever, it's like, it's a breath of fresh air that something good can happen here. And for Mr. Beamish and, you know, his organization for creating those type of jobs and going out there and it tells me what type of people they are. I guess they understand the business climate and how to do it, and they have a great idea, and they're proud of what they do, so hats off to them. For Derringer and those people, whatever, they do trucking, do those type of things, and they're really committed to the people that work there, to stay here, and use our bridge, You know, that's another element of what goes over that bridge, and without it, we don't have a business here. So hats off to all those people, whatever, that, I mean, if you people disapprove what I just said, I'm not gonna be very happy, but I think, you know, in executive session, we all discussed those type of things, and the board, if you wanna make your comments, go ahead, and that's my comment, so.
I agree with everything that you said, and not only as a board member, but as a real estate attorney, I think Wade and you, Sam, and everybody involved, the staff, the parties, our attorney, everybody, the complexities of a multi-layered deal like this. People don't realize what has to go in and how grueling it is and how one term can just, you know, pull the straw and everything can come toppling down, and I think everybody that was involved should be commended. I think it's a great thing for the authority and a great thing for this area.
I'd just like to reiterate that, you know, the first two bullet points that stand out to me is the 11.5 million due to the 55 new jobs that have been created. I think that's big. And the other thing is the $1.3 million in new tax revenue that's gonna go to the city, county, and the school. I think that's two big points in this whole deal, and once again, I applaud the staff for a job well done.
Just a quick question. Since there is an expansion, we're retaining the 170,000 in bridge traffic. Will there be an increase in bridge traffic possibly? Is there possible growth there is what I'm asking?
We anticipate that there will be, however, we justified the numbers based on a conservative approach, so that's existing traffic carried forward for a 10-year period. It's anticipated that Derringer will grow with the addition of the additional space in Building 9. And it's also a good point relative to Derringer and DeFalsco and the point that was made about the complexity of this deal. We really need to thank both DeFalsco representatives and Derringer representatives, because as was pointed out, this was an extremely complicated deal. It's one of the more complicated ones I've worked on in my career, and it took over 9 months of negotiating and dotting the i's and crossing the t's to make this happen. So we really need to thank DeFalsco and also Derringer.
And the other thing I'd point out, just for the matter of public appearance, the $200,000 loss is, I understand it as a paper loss, right? Not a necessary, we threw out $200,000 to get this going. Where did that money come from? That's the value of buildings or something?
Yeah, part of it is the value of the building on our books, and the other part is some things that we need to do up to $50,000 to improve the building.
Thank you.
So in reality, we have to spend $50,000 to make the building what it should be anyways, other than the doors.
Right.
Even if we didn't have a buyer, we'd still have to make those improvements anyway.
So for example, the second item on the agenda this morning is for $27,000 replacements of HVAC units. We would have done that anyway because they're 1994 units that are on top of it.
I think the importance of this, I think for public record, you know, we should do a roll call vote when we get to that point. If anybody wants to make a motion, any more discussion, anything like that, so anybody like to make a motion?
I'll move it.
Doug?
I'll be glad to second it.
Glad, yes, sir. Any further comments, questions? Staff, anybody? No? All right, so roll call vote.
Mr. Hooper?
Aye.
Mr. Barlow?
Yes.
Mr. Loeffler?
Yes.
Mr. Lamasha?
Yes.
Mrs.
good. Excellent.
Second item is, the special meeting is approval of a contract with Skelly Contractors. You recall the authority solicited bids for 2 train units in the 9th Industrial Building. We opened bids on September 18th, 2013, and 2 bids were received at the rates you see before you. Based on the MWBE requirements as part of the solicitation process and the cost, we're recommending Skelly Contractors at $27,297.
Would you like to make a motion?
I'll move the rest.
Thank you, Don.
I'll second.
Second one. Any further discussion on that, Steve?
Just point out, from my perspective, how when we make a move like this, how it continues to dig down into other parts of our community to benefit, you know, other people, other jobs. It's not just this job, it's now we're working with a local business and providing opportunities for other jobs, so.
And someone's gonna have to build that building too.
Right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
And actually, this was, MWE type of agreement, excellent.
Yes, it
again.
is.
So, those type of things, so it fits everywhere along the line. Motion, second, you need a second, all those in favor?
Oh, they already did.
We had a motion,
I
second.
know that,
Okay.
all those in favor?
Oh,
Aye.
Aye.
I'd like to make a comment here involved this situation where, when this deal got to the final stages just a couple of days ago, that, Wade said we need to move on this ASAP, and I wanna thank you folks, the board members who work and, you know, your time that you took to realize how important this was to do this meeting so quickly. Take time out of your schedule to do that. I applaud you for doing that, because it meant a lot for everybody involved here to get this done ASAP. So thank you, board members, for doing that. Anything else, Mr. Davis?
No, there's no other activities that are part of the special board.
Okay, so any closing comments, anybody? No? Motion to adjourn,
I'll move it.
Second.
second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.